Welcome to the Worldscope. Let's explore the latest global trends. What happens when two superpowers meet in Alaska to discuss a war that's changed the world? Will Volodymyr Zelenskyy be invited? And can Trump and Putin actually end the war in Ukraine? Stay tuned, because what happens next could reshape the global balance of power. On August 15, 2025, Presidents Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin will meet in Alaska. The question on everyone's mind: will Ukrainian President Zelenskyy be part of the talks? Europe is demanding it. Why? Because Zelenskyy has made it clear that any peace deal that does not involve Ukraine is inherently flawed. In the lead-up to this summit, a highly controversial figure has emerged: Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. European leaders have called for his inclusion, insisting that any peace deal that does not involve Ukraine is inherently flawed. This would be the first significant summit between Putin and Trump since 2021, and it has raised several questions. Will Zelenskyy be invited to the table? Can Trump negotiate a peace agreement with Putin that protects Ukraine's sovereignty? And how will international institutions like the International Criminal Court, ICC, influence the proceedings? Proximity to Russia. Alaska's geopolitical symbolism. Alaska is not just a geographically isolated region, it is also a key point of symbolism. The state is closer to Russia than any other U.S. state, separated only by the Bering Strait, which at its narrowest is about 2.5 miles wide. Historically, Alaska was sold to the U.S. by Russia in 1867 for $7.2 million. This proximity gives the region a unique geopolitical significance, making it an ideal location for a summit between the two nations. The choice of Alaska signals a form of neutrality in the diplomatic context. The ICC's global influence and its absence in Alaska. In this context, Alaska's selection as the summit venue becomes even more critical. Holding the talks in Alaska, far from the reach of international courts, reduces the pressure from the ICC's influence. With Putin facing an ICC warrant for war crimes over his actions in Ukraine and the potential for the U.S. to invoke sanctions against ICC officials, the summit in Alaska seems to be a strategic attempt to sidestep these challenges. Everything is fine right now, but problem is, Zelenskyy is in or out. This summit isn't just about diplomacy, it's about power, control, and the future of Europe. Let's deep check. Trump and Putin's relationship. Both has always been complex. Remember their controversial Helsinki summit in 2018? That meeting was widely seen as a disaster, with Trump praising Putin at the expense of his own intelligence agencies. But this time, things have changed. Trump's rhetoric is harsher. The Ukraine war has tested the patience of the U.S. president, who's known for his no-nonsense approach. But what's Trump's strategy now? Well, he claims peace could be reached by swapping territories, suggesting both sides give up land to end the bloodshed. Sounds simple, but the implications are huge. Zelenskyy's role. Zelenskyy, however, won't settle for half measures. He's made it crystal clear. There can be no peace without Ukraine's say. Zelenskyy has rejected any talks that involve giving up Ukrainian land, especially Crimea, which Russia illegally annexed in 2014. The Ukrainian president has the full backing of Europe. Leaders like French President Macron and German Chancellor Merz have urged that Ukraine must be part of any discussions on its future. Without Zelenskyy at the table, they argue, any agreement would undermine Ukraine's sovereignty. The geopolitical stakes. But it's not just about Ukraine. This summit could shape the future of NATO, European security, and global energy markets. Putin has demands that go beyond Ukraine, recognition of Crimea, lifting sanctions, and a guarantee that Ukraine will never join NATO. The U.S. is facing a dilemma. How do you stop a war that's destabilized the region without giving in to Putin's ultimatums? Trump's challenge is to balance Russia's demands with the global pressure to protect Ukraine's sovereignty. Will Zelenskyy be invited? So, will Zelenskyy be at the table? Sources say it's still up in the air, but some U.S. officials are optimistic. The White House has hinted that a trilateral summit, Trump, Putin, and Zelenskyy, might be possible. But here's where it gets interesting. If Trump pushes for peace by swapping territories, will Zelenskyy cave in, or will he stand firm? What's at stake isn't just Ukraine's borders. It's the future of NATO, the the balance of power in Europe, and the global order. What could happen next? As the summit draws closer, the world is watching. Will Trump and Putin find common ground, or will this meeting mark another missed opportunity for peace? If Zelenskyy isn't invited, expect outrage. What do you think? Will Zelenskyy be part of the talks? Will Trump and Putin come to an agreement? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this developing story.